up everybody, Smooth Cosplayer here, your favorite salsa dancing cosplayer. Tonight I want to tackle one of the biggest misconceptions there is out there about cosplay, and that is the idea that you have to look like the character that you're cosplaying as. Now, cosplayers and fans of cosplay alike tend to fall into this trap, but in my experience, it's always the fans of cosplay who kind of are misled by this idea. I'm gonna give you guys a few examples. I'll take you guys back to Thanksgiving 2015. My wife and I were having Thanksgiving dinner at her mom's place. We were just kind of sitting around after dinner, just talking and shooting the breeze and whatnot. We're chatting with her aunt and uncle, and the subject of cosplay comes up because a few months prior to that, my wife did what she calls a one-shot thing for me. We cosplayed together at Dragon Con. She dressed up as Storm, I dressed up as Bishop, had a good time. We were showing her aunt and uncle pictures of everything, and they were like, "Oh, your cosplays are good, we love your cosplay, blah, blah, blah." And we come upon a picture of my wife as Storm with Lonstermash. Now, if you guys don't know who Lonstermash is, he is famous for cosplaying as Hugh Jackman's Wolverine from the Fox X-Men movies. Now, my wife loves him just because, she loves anything that has to do with Hugh Jackman. So sometimes I'll look at Lonstermash and I forget that I'm not looking at Hugh Jackman. That's how spot on of a job he does. And not just the look in the face, but like the body. Like I look at that dude, I'm like, body goals, man. Like that dude is ripped, chiseled, buff, swole, all of that. So here, considering all of that, I'm surprised when I hear my wife's aunt and uncle look at this picture and immediately say he's not buff enough to be Wolverine. I'm like, what? Huh? What picture are you looking at? Like, how do you see him and think he's not big enough to be Wolverine? Like, if you literally put a picture of Hugh Jackman and a picture of Lonstermash next to each other, both of them being Wolverine, again, like it's almost the exact same thing. So, I keep it simple on the outside. I'm like, well, you don't have to look like the character to cosplay then. But on the inside, I'm like, really? How are you looking at this picture and coming to that conclusion? Fast forward about a month later, we're hanging out at my parents' place and for Christmas. And I'm showing my mom the same picture and she has the exact same reaction. He's not big enough to be Wolverine. I'm like, what in the world? I'm just flabbergasted. I'm like, how do you come to that conclusion? One more example. I was in this nerd group I used to be a part of on Facebook. I since left there because of there's just a lot of lack of respect for cosplayers and also a lot of misogyny going on in that group. So I was like, yeah, I'm done. But one such instance, one of my favorite cosplayers, Alicia Marie, she did a Snapchat of her as Storm. I don't know if it was a cos test, a casual cosplay, or her just kind of messing around. Either way, she looked good doing it. Had her, white Storm wig on, had, I don't know if they were contacts tonight or not, but her eyes were whited out. Using the Snapchat filter, it made it look like there was a literal storm going on, lightning and wind and all of that going on. So someone in that group shared that Snapchat to the group, and a lot of people liked it, a lot of people hit the like, a lot of people left good compliments and good comments, but there were way too many people who commented, she's too light-skinned to be Storm, she's not dark enough to be Storm. And in my head I'm like, she's not trying to be Storm in the next X-Men movie, she's not trying to replace whoever's playing her right now, she's just cosplaying her. That's all it is. Again, let's take it back to, I say this all the time in my videos, cosplay means costume and play. If you are wearing a costume, regardless of how you look, regardless of how you attained your cosplay, and you're having fun, if you're doing those two things, you are cosplaying. It has nothing to do with how you look, whether or not you match the character's look, whether or not you're the right race, the right gender, the right body type, any of that stuff. So my response to everybody in that on that post, and the same point that I'm trying to get across to you guys, is that cosplay is not a movie audition. Again, we are not trying to replace the current actor who's playing that character. We're not trying to audition for the role if that character is not in the movie yet. Now, there are some exceptions. I think Lonstermash himself, once it was revealed that Hugh Jackman wasn't going to play Wolverine anymore after the Logan movie came out, I do think he was actually petitioning to be the next Wolverine. But other than those few exceptions, we cosplayers, we're not trying to be that character. We're not trying to be that character in the next movie. We're not trying to replace that actor or whatever. We are just having fun, paying homage to our favorite character, and doing it the best way that we can, or the best way that we see fit, okay? Looking like the character is good. It's not required. It's icing on the cake, if you will, okay? You know, there are some people out there who can look like that, who are able to, and some people do a spot on good job, and I love it. We all love those jumped out the page characters, those jumped out of the movie screen cosplays, those jumped out of the video game cosplays, those jumped out of the comics cosplays. People who do such a good job that you really think is that person, or that character rather. We all love that. I will always love that, but understand that that is not a requirement. You know, let me tell you some reasons why expecting the person to look like the character is just unrealistic. One, there's this kind of moving goalpost thing as far as, you know, where we're drawing a line at with looking like a character. People say, oh, you have to look like the character. You don't look like that character, so you can't cosplay them. Well, technically, nobody who has ever cosplayed comic book Wolverine, it looks like them, because comic book Wolverine is 5'3". I've seen some short people dressed up as comic book Wolverine, but I've never seen one that was 5'3". Starfire is 6'4", a 6'4" woman, a beautiful Amazonian 6'4" woman. I've yet to see. I've seen some tall Starfires, but I've never seen a 6'4" one. Juggernaut, now, I've seen Juggernaut listed as 6'10". I've seen him listed at like 9 feet plus. Either way, I've never seen either of those heights with somebody cosplaying as Juggernaut. Okay, y'all get the picture. So I'm like, where is this line at? Where are we drawing the line at? If you're telling us the person has to look like the character, then yeah, where is that line? There shouldn't be a line, in my opinion. The other reason why it's unrealistic is that these characters were drawn, they were not designed or drawn with someone else dressing up as them in mind. These people who drew these characters were not sitting there thinking, you know what? Let me make this character a little less buff so that way your average Joe guy can dress up as them one day. Let me make this female character, let me shrink her boobs down, let me make her booty a little less perfect, let me make her legs a little less long so that your average girl next door can dress up as her. They weren't thinking that. They were just making them, I don't know what they were thinking, but they didn't have cosplayers or people dressing up as them in mind. So now there are some people like Lonstermash, like Alicia Marie, who Alicia Marie actually looks the way she looks because she, as a little kid, saw comic book characters, and that was her motivation to start bodybuilding. You know, she wanted to look like them. That was her motivation. So like, girl, if my abs ever looked 10% as good as hers, I would be happy. I would never work out again. I'd be good. I would be content with what I got. So yeah, she looks like a freaking action figure, and I say that in a good way. I mean that as the highest compliment. She kills it. But not everybody is like her. Not everybody is like Lonstermash. Very few of us have the time, the money, the will, the resources to get our bodies in that kind of shape. Okay, that should not be. Even though I love how she looks, I love how Lonstermash looks, I love how all these other people look who are able to get their bodies to look like those cartoon characters or those comic book characters. If that was the standard, if that was the rule, then that would disqualify 90+% of all cosplayers, myself included. All right. So it's very unrealistic to expect that from cosplayers. We don't have that money, we don't have that time. A lot of us don't even have the will to do it. Like, even if we could, like, why am I doing this? I'm not getting paid to do it. And very few of them who actually make it like that, very few of them are getting paid to do it, okay? So like I said, that's looking like the character is just icing on the cake. Now let me be very clear about what I'm not saying right now. Again, let me be very clear about what I'm not saying right now. I'm saying that because a lot lately people have been misinterpreting what I've said or what I've written. Shoot, even last year, this very same topic, saying that cosplay is not a movie audition, that you are not required to look like the character. Somebody, that was an Instagram post I made last year, and somebody commented, "Why shame people for trying for accuracy?" What? there's nothing in what I wrote, nothing even in what I'm saying right now that says that I'm shaming people for being accurate. I love accurate people. All I'm saying is that don't shame somebody for not being accurate. If accurate is what you want to go for, cool, do that. But don't put somebody else down for not aiming for that. Just the last topic discussion I did, saying that cosplay, there's no such thing, in my opinion, no such thing as a lazy cosplay, saying that there is no such thing as an effort requirement in cosplay. Somebody left a comment on my video saying, stop shaming people for not liking everything. There's nothing in that video said that it's bad for you to not like everything or saying that you have to like everything. Big shout out to the guy who left me that comment. You won't find it because I blocked him and I removed the comment. Big shout out to you if you're watching. I'm not trying to take away your preferences. I'm not saying you have to like everything. If the only cosplay you like is visually accurate, like physically accurate cosplay, go right ahead. If that's your cup of tea, cool. But the problem comes in where you try to take your preference and try to make that into a rule for all these other people that do this hobby that you don't take part in. All right, like I said many videos ago, if you're a fan of cosplay, have your preferences, like what you like, but you don't get to make the rules for us. All right, but yeah, people, every time any one of us cosplayers speaks out against things like that, people always want to get into feelings talking about, oh, we have to have preferences. We're allowed to have preferences. Yes, you are. Just don't push them on to us. And people get real nasty with it. I wish I could remember the cosplayer who got this unfortunate comment, but I saw a comment on someone's cosplay saying, you don't look like that character, you look nothing like that character, this is trash, please take this down. Please take this down? What the heck? Like, you know, you could just keep scrolling if you see something you don't like. But no, you have to tell the person, no, don't let this come down my timeline at all. Don't let me even see this. This needs to not even be on the internet. Who are you? For real, who are you to say that to somebody? If you don't like it, if that's not your preference, keep on scrolling. Just keep scrolling, all right? Anyway, that is it for me tonight, y'all. Again, the point is, cosplay is not a movie audition. Looking like the character is nothing but icing on the cake. You know, we are all dressing up as something we're not anyway. Why have the requirement to even look somewhat like them? We're already trying to be something we're not in the first. That's it for me tonight, guys. Y'all have a good night, have a good time, whatever con you're going to next. Good luck on your cosplay builds. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button for me, please. And I will see y'all at the next video. Peace.